Ever wonder what an FHA loan is? We have Aaron McCormick with the McCormick Law Firm in Illinois here to tell us what an FHA loan is. So what is an FHA loan?
Well, Cathy, I'm glad you asked. An FHA loan is a loan that will allow anybody to obtain the American dream provided they have at least the minimum credit score, which these days is 580. It will allow a person to put at least 3% down, and as long as the home has certain criteria met as far as condition and value, will allow them to buy that home.
So why do you need an FHA loan attorney?
So as far as having a real estate attorney who understands how FHA loans work, that's important because you want to make sure that the attorney you hire can explain the documents that you're going to have to sign. As far as with a real estate transaction, there's additional documents such as an amendatory clause that need to be taken care of. And in the Chicagoland metropolitan region, there's an attorney modification letter that has to be sent out on your behalf. And so the attorney who works with FHA buyers, VA buyers, which is for another topic, are going to know certain things they should add to that letter to protect your bottom line and make sure your legal rights are preserved.
So what are the most important requirements of an FHA loan?
Well, one, probably starting with a good lender, which if you don't have one, we can recommend several to you. But the most important requirements are working with a good agent, which is where you come in, identifying a home that's hopefully going to pass an FHA inspection, which is part of the appraisal process, making sure that the amendatory clause is signed, you have your down payment, the appraisal gets completed. If there's any issues, you have a seller that's willing to work with you so you can buy that home.
So why is mortgage insurance required?
So just like any loan, the bank wants to make sure that in the unfortunate circumstance you go into default and fall behind, that they have to take you to court to take back the home, that they have some premium up front. So yes, with an FHA loan, there's unfortunately more risk to the bank. So they want some money up front to cover them in the unknown event of a default. And that's why they want you to pay some premium up front. And then based on the size of the loan and the down payment and how the loan is put together, they want some mortgage insurance premium, which is similar to PMI or private mortgage insurance, paid through a certain period of loan. And sometimes for all 360 payments, they want you to pay it. You talk to your lender, but there is a way sometimes to refinance and get out of paying for 30 years or however many number of payments that you would have to pay mortgage insurance premiums.
So what is an FHA Amendatory Clause and who needs to sign it?
So the FHA Amendatory Clause is think of it as an attachment or a rider to the real estate contract. It's set by the Housing and Urban Development Agency, which says the seller, all sellers, all buyers, agent for the buyer, agent for the seller need to sign it. It needs to be given to the lender before the loan can be approved, before it can be fully underwritten. That in the event the home doesn't appraise, or let's say it appraises, but there's a condition, maybe there's peeling paint or some defect or repair that needs to be made. If that's not taken care of by the seller because the buyers cannot complete that or even pay for it, that the seller could not keep the earnest money deposit. Now I know there's been cases where people will contract and say, well, the seller is going to keep the deposit if it doesn't close. You can have any contract you want that's not illegal, but you cannot have a contract that supersedes federal law, and that document supersedes any private party contract. So it is required to have that contract signed off of to get an FHA loan approved.
Wow, that is really informative. Thanks, Aaron. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today.
Yeah, and if you need anything, reach out to Cathy or myself. We have a network of specialists that can help you from start to finish in addition to ourselves.
Okay. Thank you.